What's up, y'all? I am so excited to be here. How has Eclipse season been treating you so far? I know it's kind of been crazy for me. Well, not super crazy, but definitely experiencing the cosmic trust fall of it all and having to let go of particular resources that enabled certain daily habits, that needed to have a drastic like shift. And, I feel like I wasn't clinging too hard to my habits, but definitely having the shift in my material resources has forced me to make those changes or make certain changes. And it's already been kind of nicer, to say the least. So, yeah, I am super excited to be here. This is going to be a pretty long video, so definitely sit tight with me. We're going to be doing the rainbow spread for the first half of Libra season, since that's starting up on the 22nd, I believe. And then I'm also going to do mini readings for all the signs for the Virgo solar eclipse that's coming through tomorrow. So if you are patient enough to stick around for that, you can catch those readings. And honestly, if I'm feeling frisky, I might pull out something special, which is like the tea leaf fortune cards, which I don't always pull out. I don't think I've ever used them actually for content. And I haven't used them a lot like in readings either. But yeah, we're going to get into all of that. And before I do that, I want to ask y'all just for your support. Like right now I'm filming this on Twitch, but this is my content for YouTube, and it will likely be going on Instagram as well. Some form of this content will be going on Instagram as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, definitely give us a like, give me a subscribe, share my content, comment, or whatever. Like if you like it, I just need more support in that regard because I guess it helps the video gain traction. It helps my channel, I guess, like get more eyes. And I don't really do this to. I'm not trying to like go viral or anything like that. I honestly do this because I love it, and I feel like it is kind of my purpose, like what I'm here to do. And most of my practice is in person. But the online content is nice to, just get a little bit more eyes and possibly like touch some more people. So we're going to start off with the reading for the first half of Libra season. So that's going to be the rainbow spread. So we're going to start off with the 6 cards from the tarot, and we're going to take shifts that are going on for us right now. So let's see what is coming through for Libra season. The first half of Libra season. Thank you. High Priestess reverse. Queen of Swords. Star reversed. Page of Wands reversed. Let's get 2 more here. Swords. Whoa. Six of Pentacles, Nine of Cups reverse, Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so this Six of Pentacles, here we are again with this stalker card, as some would say. But yeah, the Six of Pentacles has definitely been a very important energy in regards to Virgo season, in regards to eclipse season, you know, being on this Virgo Pisces axis. It's really all about the give and the take. It's about the effort and the reward for that effort, you know. So we're going to start up here with the High Priestess coming through in the life position. So this is the main energy that we are stepping into at the beginning of Libra season. And we've got the High Priestess in the reverse. So this is pretty interesting to me because the High Priestess is really about intuition. It's about that inner knowledge, that inner knowing of your path. You know, there's an external knowledge, which is more represented by the Hierophant, and then the internal knowledge is the High Priestess, where you just trust yourself, you know, rather than feeling like you need guidance, external guidance. Having this in the reverse at the beginning of Libra season feels like we are having a little bit of difficulty feeling safe within uncertainty, right? The High Priestess is a Pisces card. So, you know, this eclipse happens directly opposite of Saturn in Pisces. So a lot of structures are dissolving. A lot of structures are being revealed as not as stable as we thought they were, or not as lasting as we thought they were. So I can see definitely a lot of the collective kind of feeling up in the air internally. Let's see what else is coming through here. The High Priestess in the reverse. Cool. Six of Wands reverse. And Three of Pentacles. Okay. So when I see this Three of Pentacles and this Six of Wands reverse, Three of Pentacles is about collaboration, right? It's about efficiency. It's about progress and everybody kind of putting in their piece of the puzzle so that things can move forward towards a collective goal, shared goal. With the Three of Pentacles, this always reminds me of that Virgo energy. It's needing to know the steps, needing to know exactly what pieces need to come together and in what order to efficiently progress to your goal. So there's definitely challenge here with kind of just this ability to feel safe, I guess, in where we are collaborating or being able to build a long-term goal, move towards a long-term goal, or plan for a long-term goal if you're not actually collaborating with other people. And then there's this curious Six of Wands in the reverse, where the Six of Wands normally is about a kind of victory. It's about success and feeling like validated, feeling seen and supported, like empowered by like people, community, anybody like that, you know, who also shares like a love or a passion that you have. The interesting thing about the Six of Wands is that it comes after the Five, which is often seen as competition. So I see the Six as winning, you know what I mean? Whatever you are trying to put your energy out there for. But when I see the Six of Wands in the reverse, it almost feels like this energy of like stage fright, you know? It's like you win and then you ask yourself kind of like at what cost. It's like I put myself out there and now that I'm here, like I'm shy, or there is something about being perceived or having like the eyes on you that makes you shy away, even though this is what you put your energy out there for, even though this is what you wanted, right? So yeah, this could be possibly like putting yourself into new communities, putting yourself into new areas of collaboration, of yeah, working with other people towards a new like goal or new value that you are moving forward with, since this like eclipse season like reset within the Virgo area of your chart. And you're there and just kind of feeling a little bit uncertain. Maybe you don't actually have the support of other people kind of like behind you as you're stepping into this new community, as you're stepping into this new direction. But it's about slowly like learning the other people, slowly learning about this new perspective or this value system, that I feel like is very important. Even if you're feeling like this high priestess in the reverse energy where it's like you don't know. You know, I think at the bottom of the deck, yeah, there was this Nine of Wands in the reverse, which is kind of like that hyper vigilant energy. You know, it feels tense on your shoulders. It's the wounded warrior. It's the PTSD card. But when it's in the reverse like this, there is that need to sit more with that discomfort so that you can respond to this rather than react. So we're going to move forward to the healing position, which is coming through as this Queen of Swords. I'm just going to set this up here so that we can see all the cards as best as possible. Yeah, so this next position here is the healing position. So this is how we are using our energy at the first half of Libra season. And it's coming through with the Queen of Swords. And this is a court card. So this is really talking about how we are processing our thought patterns, right? Swords is thoughts, perception, communication, information, any way that you create meaning out of the world and out of your experiences. And the Queen, being a receptive energy, she has wisdom, she has knowledge, she has mastery through her lived experience. But at the same time, that wisdom or that past experience can very much cloud her ability to be open and receptive to something new. So I feel like this Queen of Swords coming through in this healing position is really about the refining processes of our thoughts and our experiences. I mean, right underneath, we already have this Eight of Swords, you know, without going too far into the spread. And this is kind of creating your own mental prison. And when you're the Queen and you're on top of this Eight of Swords, when you're the Queen of Swords on top of this Eight of Swords, like this mental prison is based off of all your past experiences. You're like, it's like pattern recognition, you know? And some of those things can be true, but at the same time, you have to allow yourself to challenge those experiences to be able to experience something new, you know? So we're gonna see what else is coming through with this Queen of Swords. And hello to Dream It's Possible in the comments. I'm filming this for YouTube, so I'm not super attentive to the comments on Twitch right now, but I appreciate you being here. All right, so what else is coming through with this Queen of Swords? Why are we having this Queen of Swords for the healing process with the first half of Libra season? Three of Cups reverse. And the Hierophant reverse. Okay, so this is what I was talking about already, right? The Hierophant, where this is external knowledge, versus the High Priestess, which is internal knowledge. This High Priestess is kind of in this energy of doubting their truth, right? But then this Hierophant in the reverse is this need to step away from an external conditioning. There's a need to step away from a social norm, a social convention, in the way of, you know, creating meaning or processing, you know, what it means to be in social relationships. Right? The Three of Cups in the reverse. Cups being your emotional heart space, which you need to be supported and fulfilled and nurtured. And the Three of Cups is typically having like a friend group, like a social network, community, people who really fill your cup and support you emotionally. You know, there could be tension or a review of how you feel or how you navigate social networks, social groups, social activities, right? The people who you feel like support you, the people who you feel like are supposed to be pouring into your cup. So maybe there is a shift in the conditioned way of valuing relationships or engaging in relationships that's going on right now, that is being experimented right at the beginning of Libra season here, right? With this Six of Wands in the reverse, where you've taken this leap towards a new community or a new endeavor that's more in line with your passion. And now you're meeting these people, but you are building practical relationships there. You're building and exploring practical like viewpoints, and you just feel a little bit weird because it's not what you're used to. You're learning to trust in yourself and trust your ability to feel which people and which communities are right for you, and challenging your thoughts about certain people or certain perspectives when it comes to creating meaning out of life and how you navigate it. Hello. All right, so we're going to move on to the sunlight position, and it's coming through as the star card in the reverse. So this is about the possible successes, achievements, and highlights that we can expect for the first half of Libra season. And whenever the star card comes up, I always reference Mulan. So if you're familiar with Mulan, there's a song called Reflection, and the lyric goes, "When will my reflection show who I am inside?" And that's really what this star card energy kind of is. There is a need or a desire, a wish, an ideal like experience that comes through with this star card. It could be about your hopes and dreams, and having faith that you are moving closer towards that. It could also be about healing. The star card definitely brings up this connotation or general energy of healing processes, like washing away like old things. But the thing that I usually bring forward with the star card is that the ideal like experience that you want to have as far as like your external 3D experience has to be nurtured through like the waters from like your heart space and like your actual truth, right? If you're not showing up externally, if you're not, like there's a way that you need to nurture your internal, right? Your heart space, like the things that you actually need to feel happy and supported. And when you are honoring that within yourself, then the external shifts, right? Because you no longer are accepting anything less than what is true for you. So like when you have the star card in the reverse and you're feeling hopeless, you're feeling like you are not getting or being seen for who you actually are, how are you holding yourself back, right? There is a part of yourself that is drawing in this experience. There is a mirror that is going on here. So I think as far as the sunlight goes, to have the sunlight here on the star in the reverse, there is an illumination of how the way that you've been showing up has created your external circumstances, has created your external dissatisfaction. So let's see what else is coming through with the star card in the reverse here for the first half of Libra season, and what we can look forward to as far as the successes and the achievements. Ten of Cups in the reverse, and the Temperance card. This is perfect. I love that it came up this way because the Star card and the Temperance card both have that similar imagery of these two vessels that are pouring like this liquid of our spirit, of our desire. They are both also kind of doing this type of like temperature check energy. You know, you're like dipping the toe to see if it feels right, to see if it's actually a part of like your path, your desired path, your desired future. So what's going on with the Temperance card? This is a Sagittarius card. The Star card is a Aquarius card, by the way. But I always bring up the image of like vision boarding, and in order to move closer to your 5D ideal experience, you need to be doing things in your 3D lived experience that call in that type of energy, right? So when you're making a vision board, that is a tangible way of taking your dreams and kind of just like bringing them into a sense of reality, a physical like reality that you can see like in front of you. And that is a certain like alchemy really that kind of just aligns you on that path. And so then your job is to discern whether or not, you know, your 3D choices or the places that you're putting yourself in actually reflect that type of lifestyle, or actually reflect that type of ideal that you want to be moving closer towards. So then to have this 10 of Cups here in the reverse, you know, this is one of the happiest cards in the tarot. But I often have to tell people that when we have an ideal vision of happiness, there is oftentimes a certain image that we think that we need to have in order to feel this happiness. But it's really not about the image, and it's all about the feeling. So if there are things in your external reality that make you feel good, make you feel happy, but they don't look like what you thought they were going to look like, that's totally fine. Because it's not about what it looks like, it's about what it feels like, right? So this energy here with the Star in the reverse and the Temperance and the 10 of Cups in the reverse, this is really about becoming clear on what is actually meaningful for you emotionally. You know, what is actually filling your cup in a satisfying way and not in a seeking type of way. Because what I'm seeing here with this 3 of Cups in the reverse and this 10 of Cups in the reverse, there is a 7 of Cups in the reverse type of energy, which the 7 of Cups is often that seeking, but the 7 of Cups in the reverse is more so of a presence, and more so of a stillness, because there is actual clarity about what is sustainable, like emotionally, you know, and what is just like a quick fix or a socially agreed upon manifestation of happiness. You know, it's not about what it looks like on the outside, it's about what it feels like on the inside. And this first half of Libra season is our moment where we are experimenting with that. You know, we are finally taking ourselves out of a comfort zone. We're finally taking ourselves out of a lens of social conditioning and socially agreed upon status and pleasure and happiness, and taking it into our own hands, you know, and really feeling it out within this Cups energy and within this Wands energy. The only caveat, or the main caveat, is the swords, is your thoughts, is your perception, right? So when we're going through this first half of Libra season and you find yourself possibly like in this energy of self-doubt, but reserving yourself, you know, like hesitating. That's the word that I want to use. If you find yourself hesitating within your thoughts, there's a need to kind of review each of these thoughts that are coming up and ask yourself, is that coming from you, or is that coming from somebody who put an idea into your head, you know, like about what this is? You know, is this your truth, or is this a truth that somebody gave you? And that's going to help you really see where you've been holding yourself back, where you've been creating this dynamic where you're not able to feel safe or feel supported or receive love, the proper love and care from your communities. So let's move forward into the grounding position, and that is coming through as this Page of Wands in the reverse. So this is an interesting card to come through as the grounding, because obviously, like, reversals are challenging, especially when it comes to Wands energy, fire energy, the things that you're passionate about, how you want to take action, the things that are fun and exciting. The Page of Wands always reminds me of that dog with a stick. You know, they're super excited to take action on a new experience, a new inspiration, you know, a new creative endeavor or active endeavor. There is some way you want to put yourself out there passionately to develop experience within this Wands endeavor, right? So the Page obviously is the least mature of the court. So there is no level of mastery here, but there's curiosity here. But then the reversal really leans on this edge of like failure, right? Especially with Wands, with fire energy, it can be like prideful because it's so passionate, and passion is vulnerable because you care about something. You know, you want to put yourself out there and you care. So you are afraid of failing, or you're afraid of embarrassing yourself, you know, and that can stop you in your tracks and stop you from putting yourself out there to begin with. So to have this Page of Wands as the grounding energy here, first and foremost, I would say, you know, when you are feeling inspired to put yourself out there in new ways, and then you're holding yourself back out of like self-doubt or fear of embarrassment, fear of failure, do it scared. Like, the Page of Wands is the quintessential do it scared card, because it's not really about being the best or being the coolest or, you know, not falling down. It's really about putting yourself out there and feeling it, so that you know if you like it or not, so that you know, like, if it's in alignment with you or not. And failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a symptom of success. You have to be able to fail so that you can learn what you need to do to be better. So, like, you're being inspired at this time. There are so many things that you are inspired to put yourself out there towards, and you know, you hold yourself back and you're uncertain in your energy. But if you just try, that provides so much information. Just try. Let's see what else is coming through with the Page of Wands in the reverse for the grounding energy, first half of Libra season. Good luck with your readings today. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, so what else can we see with this Page of Wands in the reverse? Queen of Cups. It's lots of emotions here. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, this is up to you, right? Because whatever these things that you're inspired to go towards, they could be very, what should I say? They could be lucrative opportunities, or they could provide a sense of stability, abundance, resources, finances, safety, experience. But first of all, it's up to you to reach your hand out and take this offer, right? And then with this Queen of Cups, like, you're very much in your feelings. I like that it's a queen because you're pretty aware and pretty attuned with your emotional body and how you feel. But once again, you know, this queen is the only figure in the suit of cups that has a cover over their cup. You know, the only figure that has a lid over their cup. So there is a holding back type of energy that is present here. But it's not bad to care, you know, and it's not bad to fall down sometimes and pick yourself back up. Like, you're just learning, you're just putting yourself out there. You are expanding yourself in a new direction. So are you going to reach out towards this opportunity? Are you going to put yourself out there? I like this Ace of Pentacles underneath the Three of Pentacles here, because it feels like putting yourself out there to explore these new communities and explore these new values. When you are engaging with the community there, when you're engaging with the people who show up in these spaces regularly, the combination of your desire to start something new, your desire to plant this new seed and to commit to something new, and the community, the experience of the community helps create a foundation, right? Three of Pentacles plus the Ace of Pentacles is a Four of Pentacles. It's the foundation. It is a safe space. It is a space to not necessarily to fall back on, but to build on top of, you know? It's solid. It's sturdy. I'm just gonna turn the music down on the music. The volume down on the music for a second, sorry. So yeah, that's what I see for like this grounding energy and these new directions that we are putting ourselves out there towards the first half of Libra season. Like, if you put yourself out there, if you just try and you engage with the people who are in this space, you know, it's so much easier to create a foundation to build off of this new plan, this new goal. So moving forward towards the Serenity, this is how you can experience more peace at this time. First half of Libra season, we've got this Eight of Swords, and I've touched on this already a little bit, where this is like your own mental prison. This is like the space where you're doubting yourself based off of like former experiences that you had, right, underneath this Queen of Swords. So already there is this need for us to be reviewing these thoughts that normally hold us back, right? And making sure, or just, you know, figuring out if that is a belief that comes from your experience or a belief that comes from, you know, some type of conditioning that somebody put onto you, you know? Let's see what's coming through with the Eight of Swords here for the peace. What more can we say with the Eight of Swords? How we can experience more peace this first half of Libra season. Whoa. Okay, the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Five of Cups. Okay, well, first of all, with this Eight of Swords and this Eight of Cups in the reverse, all these thoughts are based off of old emotional baggage that has not quite been processed, has not quite been released yet. When I see the Eight of Cups in the reverse, it's interesting because it could play out as like a situation that you just haven't processed yet, you know, you just haven't like let it go. Or it could be that there is something coming up that you thought you were already over, right? You thought you had already processed, and now it's coming back around. And, you know, there's more work to do to sort through these feelings, to sort through these emotions. You know, it feels like a lot of resentments that are there that still kind of cloud our belief system, you know? And this is kind of like the opportunity for us to actively, you know what I mean? Actively clear out these thought patterns, clear out these former resentments, clear out these old emotional baggage that have been weighing us down in our heart. I'm looking at this Three of Cups in the reverse, Eight of Cups in the reverse. That's the Five of Cups in the reverse. Five of Cups, which just came out here. This is about emotional, not resentments, but this is kind of about remorse and feeling sad and regretful. When the Five of Cups comes up, oftentimes people refer to this as the crying over spilt milk card. And, you know, this person is so focused on these three cups that have spilt over. And touching back on the Three of Cups here, right, this is your social groups. This is your social networks, your friends, the people who are supposed to be pouring into your cup. and how you are realizing, there is a mental shift, a perspective shift when it comes to those social networks and those social groups. And that could very much be causing you a lot of sadness, you know what I mean? A lot of remorse. But if you're so focused on that sadness, you're not going to be able to find the new spaces, the new communities that can fulfill you, that are actually in resonance with you and your heart needs, like your needs for satisfaction and fulfillment to be nurtured, you know? So, in order to experience more serenity at this time, first and foremost, this is sorting through those past experiences, those past like feelings that haven't been quite let go of yet in regards to social networks and how you have to engage in interpersonal relationships, right? And allow yourself to process kind of your old feelings about that, but I guess like old communities, right? Or old social groups that you thought were right, that you thought were correct based off of these, conditioned beliefs that weren't quite your own, you know? And then like these beliefs were reinforced by your lived experience, but that's because you were acting in accordance with this and not your actual like truth, right? Not your actual heart. So now this is your moment to actually act within your heart. So I see at this time you're still releasing. You know what I mean? You're still releasing a lot of that hurt, a lot of that pain that you had. A lot of the pain of the I guess loss of friendship that you had invested there. But now I'm seeing here with this 8 of Cups in the reverse and the 5 of Cups. Oh, well, I guess this is also reinforcing that 3 of Cups in the reverse type of energy up here, So yeah, this is really just a cyclical thing, I feel like you're putting yourself out there, and some experiences are going to continue to reinforce this old belief system, right? But that is not because it's true. It's more so because there are more people who are still acting in accordance with this conditioned truth, this conditioned knowledge, rather than acting in accordance with their inner wisdom, And so this type of process that is occurring here at the beginning of Libra season is helping you to align with those people who are actually meant for you, who are actually there to take you closer towards your wishes, your dreams, and your path, and the desires for your future, You're still looking at these 3 cups here, but there are these 2 cups behind you. And we also see these 2 cups in the star. We also see these 2 cups in the Temperance card. This is everything that you want. And you can be connected to this. You can find this if you're moving in accordance with this truth, with this inner knowledge, with this inner wisdom, and not with what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Not with the external belief of what happiness is, of what wisdom is. Okay, so then moving into this last position, this is the advice from Spirit, or the best way that you can move your energy moving forward here. And we've got the 6 of Pentacles, we got the 8 of Pentacles, and then we have this 9 of Cups in the reverse. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm just realizing just how many cups that we've had in this spread. Like, this is really an emotional time. And especially with this 9 of Cups in the reverse coming through as well, this is like an emotional outpouring. This is like that dam breaking and like the flood waters coming through, Whenever I see the 9 of Cups, it reminds me of that comic or like meme of the dog and he's sitting at the kitchen table and there's fire all around him, and he says, "This is fine." That's what the Nine of Cups can be, you know, a lot of times. And it gets like this type of connotation where people refer to this a lot as like the wish fulfillment. And I don't really see it like that most times. It's more so of kind of like an emotional stability, but that can also become like stagnant if you're not tending to it. So when the Nine of Cups comes through in the reverse, it's just like you can't ignore it anymore. You know what I mean? The dam breaks. You're finally engulfed by this fire. It's finally burning you up. And it's like, I can't not pay attention to this anymore, you know? So that is the first clue I would feel like, as far as the advice for Libra season, or how we're moving through Libra season, is first of all, tend to those things that you haven't quite been tending to because you feel like you can get by without paying attention to it, you know? So tend to those things before it becomes this dam that breaks, before it becomes this big emotional like outpouring, right? And then we have the Six of Pentacles here, which once again is about that kind of give and take dynamic. The effort that you put out there and what you receive for that. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which has a lot to do with like perfectionism, or just like really focused, really detailed work. It could be about a refining process as well of your resources, your materials, your values, and all of that, right? So let's see. With these pentacles, you know, I want to connect these to the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles that we had before, where I feel like one, we are investing in new activities, new like ways that we want to use our energy, and also investing in new values as far as like building community of people who also are passionate and creative and actually do, right? And then also shifting your values like within yourself, and with what you choose to invest your time into, right? And what goals that you feel like you invest your time into. Because, you know, we are much more conditioned to be investing into the things that, you know, the society tells us is important to invest into. But now we're having this shift in kind of using our energy to invest into more of the things that we feel are a part of us internally, that we feel like that we're called to do, or called to be. And so, yeah, this is a review, basically, of those communities, those responsibilities, those obligations that you show up for, and whether or not they are actually worth, I guess, the time that you sacrifice, like in these connections, in these relationships, in these bonds, you know, because they do provide something for sure. But if you're not in alignment with your goals or your beliefs, then, you know, you're never going to actually be able to make it to your actual long-term goal, right? Which would be represented by, I guess, the Ten of Pentacles, once you've built completely to the end of the suit. I just see, you know, a Two of Pentacles energy between these two, where you're just like, should I go here or should I go here? Should I keep investing in this type of perspective and this type of belief system, or should I start investing in a new belief system that is more aligned with how I feel on the inside, and what I feel called to do and be, and how I feel called to express myself, you know? I feel like that is very important in regards to feeling emotionally stable, feeling emotionally secure, or repeating patterns where basically you're repressing your emotions to the point where everything has to just come flooding out, you know, and it just becomes completely overwhelming. One last message from the tarot here before we go into the animal spirits. One last message for the advice for the first half of Libra season. The Death card. All right, it's finally time to do that purge. It's finally time to shed that skin and clear out those old patterns, those old beliefs, those old emotions, old resentments, old ways of repressing your truth. It's time to clear all that shit out, right? So that you can create space for the new reality. Look, the Ten of Pentacles. Like I said, this is what you want, right? This is that long-term goal that you want. We've got to purge now so that we can create space to build this new dream, this new value system, this new home. I love it. So let's go ahead and pull the messages from the animal spirit. And I want to keep this, the bottom of this deck, these last two cards available here so that we can see them. Maybe I'll just put them here. So let's get two messages from the animal spirits to round out the rainbow spread for the first half of Libra season. So what animal spirits are relevant at this time? What do we need to know, be aware of, or possibly embody through the animal spirits for the first half of Libra season? Please and thank you. The fox. And the dragonfly. The dragonfly comes out a lot, I feel like. All right, so let's see what these have to say. We have an earth energy and an air energy. Okay. Fox. Smart, strong partner or mate, wise teacher. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. When in balance, magical, ingenious teacher, monogamous. When out of balance, sneaky, unsure of their identity. To bring into balance, partnership and connection. You know, one of the main things I feel like is coming through in my mind with this fox card, about the monogamous energy there. This is about committing, right? And there was that Two of Pentacles type of energy that I was kind of seeing with the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles here, where it's like you're still trying to decide which path is the most viable, right? But you're basing it off of this external understanding of what safety is, of what security is, right? And you really need to be more focused on what it feels like, what safety feels like inside of you, what safety and security feels like inside of you, right? So the monogamous piece is like if you're putting yourself out there in new communities, right? But then you are feeling uncertain because it's not always quite as exciting, you know what I mean? Or as like every moment isn't as sparky as like some former things that you are walking away from, some former ideas of what like friendship is supposed to be and all of that. Like if you're not solid in this new path, if you're not fully committing to it, then you're going to be unsure of your identity, right? That's what it says. Monogamous, and it says unsure of its identity. So if you can't commit to this purge, to this shift that needs to happen right now, then you're never going to make it there, you know? So let's go to the dragonfly. I read this one so much, I honestly should know it by heart. Okay, dragonfly. It says, Master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still? Dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, it sees clearly, it's joyful, and it's magical. When out of balance, it can't concentrate and it has a busy mind. To bring it to balance, focus on the breath. Yeah, I think this is really just about like slowing down in this process here and really feeling all of this out. You know what I'm saying? Like the Star card and the Temperance card, this is really about feeling. Temperature checking your external reality with your internal desires. So yeah, this is the message for the first half of Libra season. If this was meaningful or helpful for you, definitely give this a like, you all. Subscribe if you want to follow along for more readings in the future. Comment down below like what you've been experiencing up until now, what you're shifting. Definitely stepping into Libra season, seeing that we're just coming off of the eclipse season. I invite you also to check out my Ko-Fi page so that you could possibly donate if you are so called to donate. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the shifts, the changes that are coming ahead of us.